Hello, my name is Cláudia Werner, and I am a full professor at the Federal University of Rio de Janeiro. I actually entered this field of computer science in the 80s. It was a new field, so at that time everyone was very anxious about and excited about this new possibility. So at that time, half of the students of my course were actually women. As soon as we started learning some programming languages, of course, there was the possibility of entering in industry for programming and training. And actually, in the second year of my studies, somebody proposed me a job, but then I would have to stop my studies, and I decided not to do it, so I continued. And at the end of the 80s, I finished my course. But then I also decided to continue in a graduate course. So when I entered the graduate course, I was doing a master degree. There was an opportunity to go abroad, to go to Switzerland, actually to work at CERN, which is a high-energy physics international center. And at that time, I was invited to do my PhD. We call it here as a direct PhD. So I didn't actually defend a dissertation in my master's, but I entered a PhD course, and I went to Switzerland. In Geneva, I stood there for 2 years as a visiting researcher. And then I came back to Brazil and finished my PhD here in Brazil. At that time, I actually looked for a job, even being a doctor, let's say, of engineering. But then I decided that working in industry maybe would be, I wouldn't say boring, but at least it would be repetitive. So there was a concourse for being a professor here. So it was not something that I actually planned, but it happened. And then I did that exam, and finally I got into the university as a teacher. I used to be a system analyst, but then I became a teacher at the university. So actually, when I entered the university as a professor, I used to, my field of research used to be database, but then I worked with software reuse, which is actually seen as a software engineering topic. So my exam was actually in software engineering. So I became a software engineering professor, again, without planning, but then I entered and enjoyed a lot this field of research. And more specifically, I always worked with software reuse. So I had a lot of students, PhD students, master students, and even undergraduate students in this field for over 20 years. And I'm still working on that. More recently, I started working a little bit with virtual reality and augmented reality because I actually started working with software engineering education. So in the fields of games and software reuse would actually be there also, but then it was more a broad approach for software engineering as a whole and not just software reuse. And because of that, actually in 2006, I was the first woman in the field of software engineering to receive an award for the Brazilian Computer Society. And again in 2011, because I was always very much involved in events in Brazil and abroad, organizing and promoting those events. So actually I was awarded twice a prize, an award from the Brazilian Computer Society. The academic career actually is not only teaching and doing research, But sometimes we have to take some positions in management. So for the last 10 or 15 years, I was actually involved in a lot of activities like coordinating, being the head of my department and coordinating a research team. Also, I've been twice as an academic director at my institute, and I was for some times responsible for the whole infrastructure of computers in the university. So it's a hard work, but of course you learn a lot by doing it, and it's something that you must do sometime in your career. So I am glad that I had this opportunity. But of course, nowadays I'm back to research, and I enjoy a lot being with my students. At this time, I have already 53 master's students that finished their dissertations, and something like 19 PhD students. And I still have some supervisions of other students, but of course it's a very hard work, and we can only achieve whatever we achieve in our career because we are as a team, working in a team, and this is very important in the academic field. Looking back all this time in this area of computer science, what I noticed, as I mentioned, in the beginning there were a lot of women. And then as time goes by, you don't even recognize that, but the women start disappearing, let's say. And at this time, when I look back, and it's not that I had the problems by being woman, but I noticed that forgetting, for instance, the management positions in an engineering school, as I am, it's very hard. Only a few women actually got a position as a director or a sub-director. And in 2019, actually, with other professors, we decided to create a group that would hear not only the professors, that we are kind of only 25%, if much, but students also, they represent 30%, probably for the engineering courses, and we wanted to hear them and to see if they had difficulties of actually doing their jobs and studying, especially when they have babies and you need a supporting, not only at the university, but probably a family support. And then we started looking at those things, and nowadays we think it's very important. And there are a lot of fields in engineering, but especially in computer science, that women are actually afraid of entering, and it's no good that we only have classes with men. So we actually invite women to come and do their research, especially in software engineering. There are quite a lot of women involved, and it's a way of looking of if you have diversity, if we have equality, you can do much better work. You can do much better research. So this is what I am involved right now, not only in teaching and supervising students, but actually being able to listen to their problems and worries about being a woman in the academic field.